Good evening, everyone. Mazes Okezie. I hope you can hear and clear. Welcome to this Friday's Hangout. I am Mazi is okay. Welcoming you on Njenje Media TV. How are we all doing today? May I know and have the privilege of welcoming you and at the same time ask you to let me know where you are watching me from. I am Mazi is okay. The dotted one on your dot unapologetically. So let me know where you're watching me from, people. Let's get. So, welcome back once more. Mazes okay here. What is going to happen this evening is not only about, every time people, some of you will think we only concentrate on the what is happening at the federal level. But again, what happens at the federal level drives what happens at the state level. This evening, I want to look at two critical things. That is the states, the two A states in the southeast, which is Abia and Anambra State. We'll see. Now, sorry. Can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me loud and clear? Oh, okay. Okay, I can hear. I can hear. But the only thing I want from you is to tell me where you are watching me from. I want to know. I want to know. Buongiorno for some of you watching me from Italy. Comment ça va? If you're watching me from the French-speaking country, or if you're watching me from German-speaking countries, I would say, Schönen guten Abend, Leute, wie geht's euch? Euch geht gut? Ich auch. Mir geht's wunderbar. Na, mir geht wunderbar. Okay, which other language? I come down to Nigeria, say, Kai Mutani Nigeria. Waiting ide, Kagani, ide correct? Have you my Yoruba brothers? Have you my Igbo brothers? I say, good evening to us. Kedu kunu malum afambu maazi ezoke. Onye nke kwelunu ma kwesi ike na ọ bụ onye gboo, the ancient one. It's part of the ancient people. Now, let us get the ball rolling. Do you know that Abia State Governor told us that he is going to build an airport? This is a man who was not even able to finish one flyover. In the same time, in the last 6-7 years, Wike, the governor of River State, has been able to build 9 flyovers. 9 flyovers. He's just got the authority to build the 10th one. Go to the neighboring state to Abia State, Ebonyi State. The state carved out of Abia State. That state, under Governor David Omahe, has built 17 flyovers, verifiable, in the last 7 years. 17 flyovers. All the roads done are made of concrete. You will think this is a state that has such small resources, but yet is doing mighty things. Abia State is one of those states that receive 13% derivation. That means 30% which they get from oil. Yet, this is what the governor told us. Let me bring him in. I mean, let's, let me just let him come and answer for himself. So, Oga Governor, can you tell us something? Before I let him speak, I would want to take some of your comments. And I say, good evening, Mokonna Chibuza Eric. Now, you're watching from Germany. Ich nehme an, du bist auch oder du sprichst auch Deutsch. MK Wando, as usual, watching me from Ireland. I like it. People, bear in mind, today is the end of the month. Today is when you pay tithe. Okay. Now, I don't know if many of you have seen this video. You know one thing? Before you say that I took the governor out of context, I must give the following disclaimers. This video was published 29th of January 2021. That was last year. That's when he made the following comment. Now have a listen.
We need an airport. Because if you want to create a commercial access is
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, people, pardon me if I'm laughing. Is it the way he said it? We need an airport. If you want to create access, if you want to create whatever, access is key. You know why I'm laughing? A man who cannot build flyover is talking about we need an airport. As if Meiji Mporo Ivedi in Walu Airport. Okay, let's continue.
access is key. 1, 2. Without deriding anybody, I've not seen one airport in Nigeria.
Okay, so without deriding anybody, hasn't seen any airport in Nigeria. I'm laughing, okay. Less than 1 hour, 30 minutes from your government house is a state called Ebonyi State that came out of your state. I say, go there, you see what an airport ought to look like. Not to talk of that, my own state of Anambra State built an airport, which I don't want to insult my governor, but when I look at that airport in my state, it looks like something like a bus terminal or a warehouse for storage of rice. Maybe Buhari and Co. should have borrowed that airport to store the rice they used in Pyramid in Abuja, but that is on a side note. People, the thing here is, in fact, I don't even know what to say again. But again, let me keep that aside. Let me hear the governor out.
An airport is not a park. It's not a place you run to board a flight and I have enormous respect for the former governor.
Sorry, can you guys hear me now loud and clear? But I think, hold on, let me check my volume.
Sorry, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear loud and clear. I don't know what's Wandu. Maybe you need to buy a better phone. Let me see. Can you hear me now?
You need to buy a better phone.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear now. But that's by the way. So let's get the governor. Let's get him going.
What he wanted to do around Ocean scared me.
Did you hear that? He said that what Ambode wanted to do in Oshodi scared him. And for anybody who cared to know, I said that, and I have said this multiple times, I am not from Lagos State, but whenever you see a man who is fit for purpose, you must say it. Ambode was very ambitious in project. That is on here, I agree with him, because that is a man who has a vision, who has ambition, who wants to implement it. But hey, you cannot serve two masters. You cannot have an ambition to, make your state leapfrog into, developmental state, and at the same time having humongous amount of money that you can share to godfathers. No. And that's what eventually removed him.
As a governor, scared. I saw somebody who was thinking
Did you hear that? He said that the the former Lagos State governor was thinking like him. Do you agree that he was very ambitious? Now he's going to say the next thing that I'm going to hold on. If we didn't give this man the opportunity to become a governor, now I will be wondering, maybe if we gave him opportunity, he must have done something. But listen to him.
and 5, 6, 7 million people pass through every day. That's a resource. So why don't you aggregate them, put AC, make them put AC around the corridors, then display things for them to buy?
So he actually knew that these are things that could be done. He actually knew. 7 freaking years, there is no place you put AC, not even a motor park that you're able to do, for Christ's sake.
Because as the move about. If you have your little toddler or your 3-year-old and somebody is come and buy ice cream and you see Father Christmas selling ice cream or something, that child, you must buy that ice cream. But you must create the ambience to enable the person get the work in that place with his child. But if it is rowdy and pickpockets are harassing and people.
Okay, hold on, people. I think everyone is saying that they cannot hear the governor. Well, that's one of the things, when let me not say what I'm thinking, because if I say it now, many of you know that you're going to happiness more, but I don't want you to happiness more. Once more, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked this stream, please like and share. I'm going to show you. Let me bring the governor through another means, and hopefully it's going to be better now. Let's see if it works this time around, this way. Okay. So can you hear me now? Can you hear the governor very loud now? Because I like when it starts, the audacity with which the governor says we need an airport. Ordinarily, if you don't, or no one knows, you will think he meant it, and maybe he meant it. I don't know. But let's go ahead.
We need an airport because if you want to create a commercial hub, access is key. Access is key. 1, 2. Without deriding anybody, I've not seen one airport in Nigeria that can speak to what an airport should be in the 21st century.
Nekwenumanya, a man who does not have bicycle, is talking about the people who have only pedals. Or a man who doesn't have leg is talking about the people with one leg cannot cycle properly. You're saying you don't want to deride anybody, but you haven't seen any airport in Nigeria. God, do you have motor park?
An airport is not a park.
Thank God you know.
It's not a place. It's not a place you run to, board a flight and go away. I have enormous respect for the former governor of Lagos State.
He's talking of Ambode, and like I said before, I agree with him here. Ambode was ambitious, but sadly, those godfathers, godmothers, godpickings, and godagborus didn't allow him to do anything tangible for his state.
What he wanted to do around Osho scared me.
So you can even be scared, okay? What Ambode wanted to do around Osho scared you. The question is, what did you do around Abba?
As a governor, scared me. I saw in him somebody who was thinking like me.
People of Abia, please pardon me if I'm laughing. He said he saw in Ambode a man who is thinking like him. Jesus Christ. Okay, sorry. Oga Governor, I'm sorry. Don't send DSS to come and jump my fence, but that statement was really funny and it cracked me up.
You can't.
And look at it. You hear those people, those are what we call sycophants, idiots. They were at behind the scene, they were clapping for him for saying absolutely nothing.
Chop people in a place. And 5, 6, 7 million people pass through it every day. That's a resource.
I am happy that he knows the amount of people that pass through Shoshodi, and that is a resource. But sadly, it appears he does not know the amount of people that come to Aba to buy and sell in order not to make that city conducive for them.
So why don't you aggregate them, put AC, make them put AC around the corridors, then display things for them to buy? Because as they move about, if you have your little toddler or your 3-year-old and somebody is come and buy ice cream and you see Father Christmas selling ice cream or something.
This will crack me up. I never knew that for the Christmas leaves Christmas stuff and start selling ice cream. Sorry, please. pardon me, I have to laugh because this one, after watching this one, I'm doing like this. I'm doing like.
It's doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking, blinking, shaking.
Honestly, I'm blinking, I'm shaking because I'm thinking. So Father Christmas has joined the ice cream vendors. Huh. Lai Mohammed must hear this one. Wallahi, Lai Mohammed must hear this.
That child, you must buy that ice cream. But you must create the ambience to enable the person take the walk in that place with his child. But if it is rowdy and pickpockets are harassing and people are taking things, my ideal airport is the airport in Dubai. If you go to Dubai airport with $200,000, you will finish all the money there. You won't go home. And people come to Dubai just to hold meetings and go away. So I was looking at a small compact airport that will have a hotel. Not an airport that will close after 9 p.m. An airport you can, oh yeah, I'm traveling to Lagos 7 a.m. Let me go to the airport. I'll dance in the nightclub, eat my dinner there. In the morning, I board my flight. All you want to do is to create many stations that money will change hands. That's how to grow GDP. So, but if you go to the airport I use in my state, if you go there now, you will not see anybody. You will not see anything. Unless it is an owl or something wild animal, you won't see anything.
Imo State just knocked you one blow 7 hours because the airport he just described is the Imo State airport, the Sam Bakwe airport. And that was when Okorocha handed over after spending billions to upgrade and renovate and undergrade and degrade the airport. But here we are. The Abia State governor is telling you that not Imo State airport is actually fit for purpose. Yet, Oga, 7 years has gone past. You could not even clear the ground, talk less of doing anything. Anyway, continue.
And yet, calculate the number of persons that come there, that pass through there. All of them passing through the airport has money. And they want to spend the money, but there is nothing. So, I wanted to create an economic hub. A place you can have.
You see, sorry, this is where even Odumeje, Onitsha, appears to be better. How can a man who, as of the time he's making this statement, he has been in government for 6 years plus, and he's still talking in future tense. I wanted to create. Oga, after 6 years, you're still wanting to create. Is there anything different between you and Oga Baba Buhari? But anyway, I think I can now understand. That is where I understand Odumeje very well. Because this, your statement is called future participle. In fact, maybe call it past participle. Maybe.
You will be a past participle. Yeah. Hey! Ebu agomia. One day we go me. Say yesterday you are a past. So very soon you shall be past. Party. One day. Say tickle.
Ndabi and done. Yesterday, Abia State was a past. Today, Abia State is a party. And now that we are talking, Abia State is in the takeover. Abia. Man, let me not say what I'm thinking. But let's continue.
Your bed and breakfast. A place you can have a nightclub. A place you can have a conference. Set up rooms like this in an airport. So that, I'm traveling, my flight is by 6, but I'll arrive at the airport by 3. Let us hold the meetings. The tea you drink there, the coffee, the everything, the food. All of those things are happening in that airport. And you create jobs. And people coming who want to go again, even on account of the airport. So, it is still a priority for me. But my people feel that I needed to do other things. And then I Because I'm a teacher, I'm also a good listener. I decided to return the airport as a priority, but go back to the drawing board and start planning again, while I do what they want to see. And that is what has just happened. So it's my priority, and I'll get back to it. I'll give you that airport.
Make I laugh. Abia, he will give you that airport. Yet, this is the same man that told you guys a couple of weeks ago. It's a karuaragi. Nde ose kako isi ikwe de ikaga gini karuaragi flyover itugamoto. Because the people asked this same man, why hasn't he finished doing Osisioma flyover? And he said, many of you that are complaining and asking about flyover, do you have a car to even cross the flyover? Now, I don't know how many people who have plane in Abia State to be landing in Abia. And he says it's a priority, but I can warn you, one thing here that I do personally here, and especially in the Southeast, is I ring the bell, I ring the alarm before it starts happening. I can tell you, whatever he's talking about the airport, yes, look at me. It is nothing but 419. It is nothing but fraud. How do I know? Go back to history. Antecedent. Theodoji came. Theodoji was elected in 2009, in 2007. He governed 2007, 8, 9, 10. In 2011, Theodoji went for a second term. He won second term 2011, 2012, 2013. 2013. On the 7th year, just like this man was on his own 7th year, suddenly, Theodoji, the one that handed him over the governorship, did what? He started talking about building airports. I think if many of you forget, I don't. You know why? Because I am so passionate about projects. Not because I'm a project manager, but I am so passionate about projects. And I follow projects. I go to site. And now, get your coffee. Get whatever you're drinking. Anything drinkable. This is mine. Let me have a sip. So, it's going to get interesting now. Because I want to get into Abia. I want to explain to Nigerians and in Abia what has been happening and why I think this nonsense, sorry, but it's nonsensical talk. This nonsensical talk about airport is nothing but a distraction and a fluke. Because let us go back and let us do the following. In 2013, I hope the Premium Times article would open quickly. Let me see if you can open, and that will bring that to us. In 2013, yes. Okay, 2013. And hold on. Let me see if I can open it. So, okay, in 2013, the same conversation, at the wake of the governor or the former governor leaving office, this nonsense of airport, this nonsense comes of an airport came, and it became a thing that everyone started talking about. Yeah, airport. He wants to build an airport. He wants to do this. He wants to do the other one. And I'm like, Jesus Christ! I mean, people, what's happening? And he even went as far as promising Abia State that he's not going to hand over, that the airport must be finished before the 2015 presidential election. Now, you can see, let me see if you can you see the screen? Oh, sorry, so I think it's, for some reasons, I hope this attack is not coming from Abia, but no matter wherever whether you attack my internet or whether my internet attacks me, all I know is that there is an attack, and we must. Okay, so at least you can hear me. Now, let me quickly do this so that you can. I want us to read with me, so you can read with me, people. So read with me here. This is premium times. This is premium times. I want you to pay attention the month and the year this article was published. This is premium times. You see here, published 25th of November 2013. Right? 2013. That was when it was published. Now, listen to what is now said here. All preliminary arrangements have been finalized. That is the first sentence. The Abia State Commissioner for Transport, Ikechukwu Emesobum, said on Monday that an airport will be constructed in the state before May 29th, 2015. That is Abia State in 2023 that they say this thing to us, and many of you will go clapping for them. When we call them that these comments and these things are fraud, some of you will take offense. Now, it goes on to say here, Mr. Emesobum said no more that all formalities, pay attention to that all formalities for the acquisition of land and preliminary arrangement to get the site ready had been completed. He added that the location will soon be announced to the public. Then he continued, yada. Part of their justification and part of their, part of their, argument is, he said that Abia State had met all requirements for the construction of the airport. Mr. Mesubin said that the proximity of the airport in Owerri, Port Harcourt, and Enugu does not invalidate the viability of an airport in Abia. I agree in principle on this. And I stand with this. I've been arguing about it. For me, let every state in Nigeria have their own airport. And let them use their competitive advantage to whatever it suits them. Doesn't mean that in all the airports, flights will be landing every day. But that's my own argument. So now, and he went further to say that the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAN has basic set standard for the construction of the airport, and by all considerations, Abia State had qualified for this. This statement, I remember in 2014, I made a statement saying that this statement is nothing but very idiotic statement because it meant absolute nothing. It means you have not applied for anything because you can imagine it says, yes, that they have basic requirement and basic standard, but we met it. Meaning there is no indication, oh, we have applied for A, we have applied for B, we have applied for C. That is number one. So you see clearly, George, who is not a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, promised the people of Abia in 2013, November 25th, that by 2015, he was going to finish the airport before he handed over. Well, again, many of you will not like it, but I liken this to the promise made by the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, when he came to Nigeria almost in the same time, promising the people of Anambra State that he was going to build the second Niger bridge by 2015. If he didn't do that, he was go on exile. Again, I have called Jonathan to go on exile. Many of you who are Jonathanians, who like him, who love him, say that I'm talking around nonsense. But again, it is time we begin to hold political leaders to account. It is time we begin to get our stones, our kobokos, whatever it is that we can get, because let them stop lying to us and let them, anything you cannot do, you say it. It's just the same way now we have a new governor in Anambra State promising A, B, C, D. I'm like, okay, don't worry. When his time will come, many of you watching me now will say, Mazi, what's changed? Nothing changed, because for me, all I want is what is in the public interest. What is it that you have promised, and what is it that you're going to do for us? That is it. Now, one thing that broke my heart as regards Abia State is the following. That when all these things was happening, the state went as far as getting some Chinese, and they came in like my state of Anambra State did. You know, the video is still on YouTube. I called Anambra State Airport a fraud, and I maintain it to tomorrow morning. Reason is the arrangement. The airport was engaged on ab initio of $2 billion was nothing but a fraud. But thank God that at some point the governor himself realized that this was a fraud. So those of you who criticized me by calling that airport at that time a fraud, if you understand context, you understand that you cannot have said that the Chinese people will bring 2 billion, yet there was no one kobo. All we had, there was a drone that should be used for area mapping. The drone was seized by DSS, blah, blah, blah. Therefore, we cannot come in. I mean, are you guys talking to children? But, you know, when you make mistakes, you retract your step. I believe Anambra State, by the time they knew it, they retracted. Obviously, not many of you know how Anambra State sourced that money of how they built the airport. But I know how they got that money. It's the money put in saving. Oh, did I say? Let me keep quiet. I will tell us the story. It's on another day how Anambra State sourced the money. That is the only reason why, because that is the only reason why up to today Anambra State has not been able to tell us exactly how and how much exactly we spent on Anambra State International Cargo Airport Umueri. But again, it is a story for another day. If you're just joining me, my name is Mazi Ezoke. This is just the beginning. Kindly please like, share, and you can make use of the comment section. Many of you are watching me from the diaspora and also from Nigeria. If you wish, at the end of the month, you can also make use of the super chat section. But before I continue, let me quickly say that I appreciate every one of you who are joining me from all over the world. I have Wando joining me from Ireland, and Ben CG says, God bless you, Mazi, and Mr. D9s, Ogezie Ikpeazu. All of you, Kenry Bar. Oh, Kenry, wow, so long I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you for so long. Manny F, the Black G. Oh, so many of you. Onyanimo. Many of you returning viewers, and many of you are part of the family, because nothing we do here is, everything we do here is anchored and based on the truth. Now, let us go back and continue. If you have subscribed, subscribe. Have you? If you're watching me on YouTube, subscribe. This is streaming simultaneously on my private channel at Mazezok. If you don't follow me there. It's streaming live on Njenje Media TV. Maybe you're there. And it's streaming live on Njenje Media TV also on Facebook. We are working to get it working to also stream on IG, Instagram simultaneously. Now, having said that, SO, full room, Papa Obi Nonyedot says full room. Mazi, watching from Spain. I've forgotten all my Spanish. Yeah, but I like Spain. We should send this governor to Spain. He will like Spanish airport. Okay. So now let me come back here. Mazi Chukuma is watching from Boston. Wow. Thank you very much. So let's go back and see what politicians, not all of them, because I must say, not all of them behave in this manner, but some of them do. Now, Oji, and this is the one that I said that broke my heart, because I think this is a fraud done to the people of Abia State. You can see this in the Ochabaribari. I think that Sari Dokubo, he always said that they are Ochabaribari people. But when you look at this, it says, Oji receives Chinese partners on Abia Airport and Seaport. Because sometimes I do feel that those in government know, they know the sentiment of the people, what the people want, because what actually any sensible person in Abia State wants, it takes about, from Omaha, the condition of the road, it takes about an hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours to go to Oyo, to fly. To Owerri, it takes roughly an hour. because the road is not fantastic. To go to Port Harcourt, whoo, Jesus Christ, that one was like 2 hours, 30 minutes. Now, they know all these things, and they go and get these people. Look at these Chinese. Look at them. These are people they brought to us in 2014 in the scam, the last minute scam that they want to build an airport. Look at it. And now let's go and read the news. It says here, Abia State Governor Okezie says that the importance of an airport in Abia State cannot be overemphasized. He stated this at the government house, Omaya, when he received a delegation of Norinco Groups, China. I bet you this group is spelled, just write it down, is spelled Norinco Group of China. Take your time, Google this group. I bet you 100 naira that this group does not exist. This is exactly what was done in Anambra State before we found our senses, and the governor did what a man does and retraced his steps and went ahead and built the airport. Again, the rest is now history. They said that they are investors interested in building an airport and seaport for the state. For Christ's sake, there is no free meal anywhere. These guys must understand that there is nothing free. He says, the governor said that the airport is prepared, that Abia is prepared for the project, admitting that this project is capital intensive, of course. But he goes on to say the following. Look at this. He disclosed that the state is presently tidying its papers with the federal government and other relevant agencies, adding that the next step will be to embark on land clearing. I don't know if this land was made up of concrete, that since 2014 to 2022, 8 years later, this land, not the former government, not this government, is able to clear it. People, I tell you, you do me wayo the first time, shame on you. You do me the second time, shame on me. This is another 419 coming from Abia State. I cannot pronounce it enough. They have done this to us in 2003, 2013, 2014. Now, exactly the same format. You must listen. The people must be so mugged in their brain to think that if somebody uses the same format to dupe you the first time, you will be a real mug for the same person to come back and use the same format to dupe you again. In 2013, at the 7th year of Theodoge's government, he came with airport. In 2021, 2022, 7 years to in this government, and the talk of nonsense airport comes again. Oh, we want to do this airport before we leave. How, Oga? How? Please, there are gutters, when it rains, our moms and our sisters, our daughters, they swim in debts on the street. Clear them first, Oga. How? This is getting out of hand. Again, and you see, when these people do these things, they lie and they look into our eyes and they lie to us. See it here. It says, look, people read. He maintained that Abia occupies a strategic location in the southeast region, and the need to have our own airport is imperative as high number of resourceful persons and businessmen frequently travel out of the state. He urged investors to use the expertise and wealth of experience to complete the project in record time. Earlier, the Nigerian representative to Noriko, Dr. Cyril Ude, explained that Noriko International Group is involved in development of critical infrastructure in parts of the world and is interested in constructing an airport and seaport in the state. He assured that, adding that the company is finally stable to fund the project. On his part, the Assistant President Noriko Group of Company, Mr. Dong Yingfeng, pointed out that his company has a lot of expertise in diverse fields, including mining, mining, petrochemical industry, and will commence the airport project once the administration gives its nod. So what the Chinese are telling us is that we didn't ask them to. Come on, people. Come on. Come on. Cycle of 419. How can we allow people to be scamming us this way? How can we allow people to be scamming us? I fell short of just saying or giving it the title Abia State Airport Scam because that's what it is. You never believe. But I have the last bit of this before I close the chapter of Abia State. Let us collectively as well look at the last article pertaining also to Abia State Airport. Again, let's go back again to premium times. Let's go back again to premium times. Come on. You see, they said Abia State Airport to be ready by May 2015. How can people be dealing with us in this way? How? Because when they say these things, it has to be. It's just like when you go to Delta State. Delta State Airport was started by Ibori, and that airport was used as a means of, money. Not for my mouth to go here say a person shit for church, but that's what it was. Nothing but a conduit pipe. Conduit pipe of sewage money. I don't know, but it's conduit pipe. And here we have the same thing. The same thing. This is not about Buhari. Yeah. Buhari this, Buhari that. No, in our own backyard. For those of you joining me late, I will play the video now uninterrupted. Hear him from A to Z, what he said, not me.
Because if you want to create a commercial hub, access is key. Access is key. 1, 2.
No, sorry, start afresh, sir. Start afresh. From day one, tell them what your state needs.
We need an airport. Because if you want to create a commercial hub, access is key. Access is key. 1, 2. Without deriding anybody, I've not seen one airport in Nigeria that can speak to what an airport should be in the 21st century. An airport is not a park. It's not a place. It's not a place you run to board a flight and go away. I have enormous respect for the former governor of Lagos State. What he wanted to do around Oshodi scared me as a governor. Scared me. I saw in him somebody who was thinking like me. You capture people in a place.
Oh dear.
And 5, 6, 7 million people pass through Oshodi every day. That's a resource. So why don't you aggregate them, put AC, make them put AC around the corridors, then display things for them to buy. Because as they move about, if you have your little toddler or your 3-year-old, and somebody is come and buy ice cream, and you see Father Christmas selling ice cream or something, that child, you must buy that ice cream. But you must create the ambience to enable the person take the walk in that place with his child. But if it is rowdy and pickpockets are harassing and people are taking things, my ideal airport is the airport in Dubai.
Anyway, thank God he knows an ideal airport. Mr. Governor, you have 14 months, is it? May 29. So, yeah, you have 15 months, roughly. or 16 months, actually. So, do we have an airport from Abia State? Dubai Airport, because you told us your ideal airport. That means something you're going to be replicating. If you ask me, my ideal airport, very small, compact, world class. That is Changi Airport in where? Singapore. If you haven't been there, you're missing. Smart airport, not all these warehouse we build. Don't worry, I'll make a video on Enugu. You'll be disappointed. I used Enugu 2 weeks ago. No, last week. What am I talking about? You will be disappointed. Very small, like a hut. And when many of you ask questions, oh, when an international airport is international airline is going, which international airline? How? In a box, even as small as it is, they can't even have an air condition that is working, functional. You come, you are sweating, all your armpits. Even if you go use the whole bottle of roll-on, you still be sweating like Christmas goat. Common Ethiopian airline, 220 passengers. The whole place will be like a bed. Only travelers, oh, those not traveling are not allowed inside. Only travelers. Yet, everywhere smelly, everywhere dirty. And we'll call it international airport. Honestly, Abia State, don't get me started. Because this is absolutely insane. Insane. Anyway, maybe we get to something that will cheer us up. Because the way we manage things in Nigeria, and someone was making an argument to me, say, Mazi, why can't the Enugu government actually take over the new international terminal and build it up, finish it and divert traffic there? I said, let me say this to Enugu and the government of Enugu now and in future. Enugu, anyone close to you must tell you the following. If you don't know already, you are in trouble. You're in trouble. You know why? Ebonyi State Airport knocks Enugu off. Ebonyi State Airport knocks Asaba off. Ebonyi State Airport knocks Anambra off. Ebonyi State Airport knocks Enugu, Imo. If Ebonyi State Airport, that's my prayer. I tell you this, I confess. My prayer is that the governor of Ebonyi makes the airport a reality before he leaves. From design alone, I was there beginning of last year. I showed us the video. It was only filled, just dusty sand with heavy machineries, lifting stuff. And I visited 1 year after. I can't believe this is happening in Africa. I felt like the way I feel when I go to Dubai. Dubai is a permanent construction site. You come to Dubai today. If car is not taken, you come back a year later. You probably wouldn't know where you were before. That's the way I felt in Ebonyi. Because you come in first, you have the ambience that you're driving into an airport constructed by a man or by human beings. But look at, anyway, Abia, if people have time, the first one, people got it wrong. Second one, you got it wrong. Third one, you got it wrong. They do now. Abia 2023, you must redeem yourself. The great Igbo nation must begin to work together. Thank God that Anambra State has set the pace. They say the test of the pudding is in the eating. Well, that brings me to the next conversation by the words being said by the governor-elect of Anambra State. We must hold him to account. I took out my time last week and I went to Oboko, where he said he was going to, or he is going to start his governance from. I said, in case, Mr. Governor-elect, in case if you don't know, this is how the streets look like. I am putting you on notice because it is my state and because I'm interested party in this case. I would come if the Lord tallies. I will come 1 year after to do a comparative analysis. These videos that I took in Opoko and photos have been archived. Even if when I jump my fence, you can't find it because it's somewhere in the cloud. 1 year later, I'll come back. I'll walk the streets. I'll drive the streets that I drove. Thank God I drove myself, so I didn't go with a driver. Not someone to say you don't know the streets again. If there is any difference, of course the world will see it. If there is no difference, Anambra people will see it. We will see so that we'll start early. I say it is time we begin to hold men we pay with our taxes. We hold them to account. They are not doing us a favor. They are only doing the things they promise that they will do if we give them our vote. And in giving them our vote, we signed a social contract. We yielded. We gave them the right to act on our behalf. And by so doing, they are our employers. We employ them. We pay them. All this nonsense of does it concern you if we are building flyover? Did you tell me to build flyover? It's arrant nonsense talk, Mr. Governor. You cannot ask your people if they asked you to build a flyover. It is insulting in a Senate climb. You have to apologize for insulting the person who employed you to do the job. You are employed to do it. We yield it to you. You have a cabinet. You make decisions on our behalf. Then when the people say, why haven't you finished this flyover? Abia State, one flyover in 7 years. One. Ebonyi is doing the 17th flyover in 7 years. River State, even with all the, sometimes I ask myself, if you give Ebonyi State half of the money that accrues to River State, maybe they will do a fence around Ebonyi and lock all of us out, not to come in, because it will be like a heaven. But with all the, Ebonyi State collects the least allocation from the state, including Yobe State, right? The least. Yet they go to debt management office, DMO office. So you look at these things, they are doing a lot with the money that they collect. But here we have a state collecting 13% derivation. Ask us what you are doing with it. All you can tell us, we shouldn't ask you question. Did we send you to build bridge? I mean, whenever I remember that clip, you really, it's so sad to listen to. It's so sad. Having said that, let me move to my state of Anambra. Let me see if I can cheer you some people up. Because the governor of Anambra State, the governor-elect, do not take days that we will sleep. You are promising you are saying the right thing now. Oga, Professor, we agree. If many of us were sleeping before, your election has woken a lot of people up. All eyes on you. You know that rap song when they grow up, is all eyes on you. Well, I'm not a rapper, but you understand the gist. All eyes on you. And the governor-elect said something that caught my attention. For many of you, because he mixed, I think almost all of us would understand what he means here, because even when some places he put Igbo, he also used English to explain it, understanding that he is speaking to more or less a global audience. And listen, have a listen. And I must say that the governor-elect appears to be watching my program and be following me. You know why I said this? On several occasions in the last 6 years, I have been calling on the governors in the southeast. This is not what Buhari or federal government will do for you, but this is what you will do for yourself. I've been calling on them to challenge Innoson. I don't care. Let Innoson build you armored vehicles, but let it be made in the southeast. Let it be made in Nigeria. There is another one in the southwest called Nord, N-O-R-D. Instead of Ford, it's called Nord. The guy does a fantastic car, does fantastic vehicles. That is what we mean. Let the competition spring up. There is a car, I think it's Peace Transit or whatever. I think they have Peace Smart Transit. I think they have a car assembling plant in Enugu. Of course, let them spring up. Anything that will make us buy brand new cars for 3, 4, 5, 6 million, of course, that is welcome. You think Tierra not the hungry us? You think we must be buying third, fourth hand? The one only accidented or swarm with water or damaged one that we will bring from Europe and America that we can only afford. Of course, we're also human. Let the competition be. Let the Nordcar, Innoson, SAP, whatever they are called, let them compete amongst themselves. Now, this is what Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, CC Soludo said, the governor-elect of Anambra State. He aligns with what I've been saying. Nothing stops you if you have 5, 10 cars in your convoy as a sitting governor. Every one of them. If you go to France today, you see President Emmanuel Macron. All you see them use is either Peugeot or Citroën. If you go to Germany, you see them use BMW, which they call BMW, or Mercedes. You see the Queen using Land Rover, Jaguar. Yes, the Indians has bought them, but at least they still have pact with them. You can't go to Japan and see Japanese prime minister or a state governor use German car. No. It's not happening. So this is not about saying, oh, the federal government didn't do this. So what have you done for yourself? If I can afford it, I'll go and take in Innoson G-Wagon. It looks better than the Mercedes G-Wagon. If I can afford it. I was somewhere in Anambra State the other day, and Senator Ifeanyi Ubah drove in. I didn't even, I was just admiring the car. But the next night I saw somebody greeting me, and I looked at him as, oh, was that his car? Because I was carried away with the car, Innoson, that he came in with. That is it. The car is beautiful, for Christ's sake, it's beautiful. Very, very fine. What stops all the governors? Go to Imo State, you see them use Lexus. You go to Enugu State, they use Lexus. You go to Ebonyi, they use Toyota. You go to my state of Anambra, they use Lexus. Why? Why? Why can't you use Innoson, for Christ's sake? Why? But again, this man has come. Oh, he's not even in, but he's already telling us how the music is likely to sound when he comes in. Now have a listen. Please, before I play that for you, if you haven't subscribed to this platform, please do. My name is Mazes, okay? You are watching Njenje Media TV. Subscribe and like and share. Subscribe, like, share. Hit the like button. On Facebook, make it turn blue. On Twitter, wherever you're watching me from, just hit the like button. So let's go.
One large family, I think, is meshed into one huge family for Project Anambra. When somebody draw my attention to some mischief right up, to have something disruptive. Because it's part of Anya, but they may inaugurate the transition committee.
For the benefit of my viewers who are non-Igbos, what he just said now is that everyone was shocked and surprised that he is that room where he spoke, that this is just the the inauguration of the transition committee. But the usual thing has always been that when such thing is done, there is too much fanfare. You get at a logo, meaning you get these local dancers, you get, unnecessary things happening. But he said, but this is a one large family that such is not needed and such resources need not to be wasted.
Ceremony where party chairman, former, this one, protocol. You can wear half of this place, you can filled with the protocol and so on, the governor, it means that's a mindset.
You see, and this is one thing I agree with him. That is a mindset, that is a paradigm shift. People wake up, they dress up, they go to government house, they sit down, they want to see the governor. They actually have not come to do anything. No freaking business. No freaking business. I know one person told me one time, why do you behave the way you behave? I said, how do I behave? I said that you came to see XYZ and you didn't stay. I said, of course I couldn't stay. If I have an appointment with you to see you by 1 o'clock and I get there 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock, you knew that I'm going to come. You told me to come at that time. For Christ's sake, I'm not jobless. I will go do other things. Whenever you're ready, we come back, we'll discuss. I mean, honestly, if we must survive as a people, be it within states or as a nation, we must have a paradigm shift. And I thank God that the professor is now, before he even sworn in, he's getting this paradigm shift. I hope the body language is not going to be like the body language of Buhari that fixed the refinery. When he now got sworn in, the refinery now died. No, it's not going to be like the body language that fixed NEPA. He now came in. Corruption. Before he was sworn in, we were told that people were returning money right, left, and center. Suddenly, when he was then sworn in, and for them to give us the names of people who stole our money and now returned them, they started talking about legality. Oh, there was legal this, and if you publish it, this person is going to do this, the other person is going to do this, and you ask yourself, So when you were promising us that, Oga, didn't you know? If we will call you people lying machines now, you will take offense. Anyway, you said it yourself, that's what it
When my 7-year-old grandson called me and said, Grandpa, tell me the truth. Why did they call you Liar Mohammed? I looked at him. What do you say to a 7-year-old son?
Well, you see, I don't want to tell you what you will tell him, but what we are saying is that we hope that we now be lied to.
It's one project. The ceremony we mobilize to witness. I had your time, even in where they been now, so they are not just be the bombs the committee is inaugurated. By one more no. So I think I want to thank all of you, and I can't thank you enough. I would like to sit through that entire period myself as the conclusions are coming in. I want to copiously be taking notes. But for me, I'm set.
Did you hear that? He said that he was ready to sit through. the whole conversation the team is making. And he underlined that word. He would copiously make notes of their deliberations and the conclusions and their agreement. Wow. Wow. Again, I put a caveat. While I like the sound bites, I like how this thing sounds. And I sometimes ask myself, could this be real? And if it is, Abia, people of Abia, you have 6 months to learn work. Oga Soludo, by December, we will be making decision whether you are on track or not. If you're on track, we have a product to sell to Abia. Abia in the last, you know how many years now? Jesus Christ, over 20 years. The last 22 years, Abia. Last 22 years, you've been very, very unlucky. Now, Imo State appears to have joined the fray. Let me not go to Imo. Imo is a different kettle of fish and the discussion for another day because of things happening there. But again, if we come back to what Professor Soludo is saying, if you pay attention to the body language, if you pay attention to the spoken words, you understand that here is a man who takes note of the little things that matter. Now, here he talks, this is the one, sorry, but if, again, I can't apologize, but, anybody from the Southwest saying that they would wear their tie and dye, wear their soke, is not being arrogant. It's not being, pompous. I say, please wear, because it is your history. But here he is for the first time. I didn't know that what he is wearing is Akwete. You know what? After watching this video, what I have decided for myself is that I'm going to visit the community called Akwete myself. I'm going to record and I'm going to show us. I'm going to let them make my own Akwete, the rest. And I will start wearing my own Akwete too, because we all learn. He's now going to talk about the Akwete dress that he's putting on, made in Aba, a community in Aba, handmade. It's still, they started making it before the colonial masters came. The colonial masters were not able to take that act away from them. Until date, they are still making it. That is a pride. And that is something that must. Because again, in this same vein, he made a statement that struck me. He talked about the great Igbo nation being one. You see, let me not preempt what he said, but let me quickly rewind a little bit.
But I need to make a statement about it. It's not just a dress, it's a statement.
Did you hear that? That the Akwete he's putting on is not, oh, Jesus Christ. You understand now the pride of putting on something made by your own people, not by your state. So that some of you who says Anambra, Imo, Abia, blah, 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 talking like in this, you hear it now. He is, if care is not taken, we'll begin to call him the Prime Minister of the Southeast region. You had it here from Njenje Media TV. Yes.
It's a statement. You know, in the entire Southeast, this is the only textile thing I like. Akwete. And it's handmade by the women of Akwete in Abia. Igbo land.
Oh, did you hear that? Igbo land, Igbo food. For those of you who do not understand Igbo, I translate. The Igbo nation is one. An incoming governor reminding us that the land, the boundary, the military demarcation is a distraction. That the Igbo nation is one. Think about it.
And we must promote it. Before we have stated bụ na emelụ na Anambra anyị melụrụ medi na Anambra mana ọ bụ na emere ya ọ bụrụkwazie anyị agbasapụzi.
You see, that he will prefer things made in Anambra. But if it's not in Anambra, of course, we are still one. He will just patronize them.
But those textile firms and so on and so forth, Mashu and the other will be back in Anambra. My made in Anambra thing for now, I've insisted, and I said it all guy in my campaign, that the official car, governor of Anambra, Innoson.
Did you hear that? The official car by the incoming government of Anambra State will be made in Anambra, and that is Innoson car. Ask yourself. These are promises that takes you nothing to implement. It helps you grow your economy. It draws you closer to your people. And people know, and the people can see your heart. When I say that, it beats me silly that the moment this current government in Anambra State came in, the first vehicle that they gave to the police after the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, gave all the schools, again I repeat, all the schools, all, not one, not some, all the schools in Anambra State, Innoson vehicle, all the communities, gave them their Innoson Hilux, like Hilux, I don't know the name again, but is, pickup truck for the vigilante groups. All the traditional rulers in the state gave them one SUV each. All Innoson. Go now. Peter Obi left when? In 7 years, or rather 7 years ago. All those vehicles are still in use and is still serving. It's a statement that is going to help you. It's not something, I don't know, it's not something, how do I put it? It's not something extraordinary. It's just, if my cars, if anything happens to my car as a governor, rather than go to Lagos or go to anywhere, fly somebody in to fix it, an engineer from Germany, this, that, it is manufactured in Nnewi. From Nnewi to Oka is maximum of 45 minutes drive. Tow the car to Nnewi or truck the car to Nnewi or get the engineer from Nnewi to come and fix it. The same is, it's easier for somebody to come from Abakaliki, from Nnewi to Abakaliki to Owerri to Abia to go and fix cars as opposed to going to Cotonou or Lagos. Is that not common sense? Does it take Professor Soludo to come in and reinforce something I've been saying for the last 5-6 years? When he had won, one of the memos sent to him was ensure that you make a statement with your fleet of vehicles. Ensure that there is some percentages of government fleet. You mustn't say Innoson, but you can say locally made or made in Nigeria. What it will then mean is it leaves all those people manufacturing in Nigeria to contend with, because it's not only Innoson that is being manufactured in Nigeria, right? Like I said before, we have NORD somewhere in the southwest. You have Innoson in this IVM in the southeast. You have Peugeot being resuscitated in Kaduna, and I think somewhere in Enugu, and I can't remember the brand, but another Chinese company there. So localize it. These are vehicles that when you buy them, there is always with government what they call the depreciation plan. If after 3 years these cars were bought for 3 million, of course you can sell these cars to the lower stars for 950, 1 million, 1.2. I don't care how much. But at least people would enjoy locally made car, brand new cars. Let's get back to the day my dad bought a Passat, was a brand new. I can't forget it. Wakri, the polythene bags. I can't forget anytime I sit at his back. I keep removing polythene bag from remnants of polythene bags from the car. Brand new. But how many of us, unless you're into Yahoo or government contract, to dream of brand new car? Not when I mean brand new, 0 kilometer, 0 mileage. But hey, Professor, allow you to go ahead.
I am about to see a job and call them whenever. But those textile firms and so on and so forth, my shoe and your training will be back in Anambra. My made in Anambra thing for now. I've insisted, and I said it to a guy in my campaign, that the official car governor of Anambra guy, Innoson. If I can eat, won't care better buy textile and Anambra. So I think there's something going on which you signify, and together we will get there. I want to thank you immensely. And I'm saying I'm going to spend more than 20 million.
Now look at it here. Not many of you know that to organize a handover of a state takes nothing less than 200 million naira. But here, someone wrote that Soludo said he will not spend more than 20 million, thinking he's doing Soludo a favor by cutting it down. His response here was legend. Here he said, we're even talking about 20 million. Why should you spend money at all? And come to think of it, if we come away from this madness of borrowed governance system, if you see a state governor as a CEO of a company, imagine, now let's say Anambra PLC. I contested to be the CEO of Anambra PLC. Soludo contested. Soludo won to become the president of Anambra PLC or the CEO of Anambra PLC. Why is it that the first day he will start work, we will go and bring people dancing? Did we not see the first day Okonjo Iweala went in as the head of a World Trade Organization, is it? Did we not see? She made a statement by her dressing. I love her. Love her dearly. She made a statement. She dressed and, but again, and people came in, greeted her, took 5-10 minutes photos. That was it. Straight on. Madam, the time is on. And that is where we must get governance to. If they do it in Lagos or in Sokoto or in Abidjan, we mustn't learn that nonsense. We must begin to reconfigure our mind. Act. If you are in Germany watching me, when a new Bürgermeister takes over, there is no fanfare. He walks straight to the rat house. He means business. You watching me from London, when a new mayor takes over, you don't have any cultural display. He walks in, takes an oath, the job starts. When a new governor takes over anywhere where people are serious, there are no fanfares. So why must we continue in this trajectory? It doesn't make sense. Absolutely senseless. That's what I see. So when I look at this guy, seeing these things, I feel, man, you are speaking to the church. You are speaking to the converted, because it is something I have been preaching, crying for most of you to listen. Now you are saying it. I say, the test of the pudding is in the eating. Yes, you said it, but you have people to contend with. I promise you, and I give you my opposition pro bono, because I'm watching you. I'm watching you. We must get it right. By fire, by force.
And together, we will get there. I want to thank you immensely. And I'm saying,
I may spend more than from 20 million. But actually, I've expressed a wish that I don't wish one kobo of Anambra State government's money to be spent on this swearing.
You see, have you ever heard of that? That a state governor is coming and saying he does not wish that the state spends money. So it should be, no ceremony, zero ceremony. Just come, let's do the thing. And that's good.
I've expressed that wish. Not to a penny, not one kobo.
Can you imagine? In this time and age. By now, people are talking about Shebi, whether now white or pink or yellow or green or brown or lila. Or there was one time they invited me, they sent me and listen, I had to ask my wife, which I can't remember, the color. I've never heard of such color. They say, oh, it's another name for wine red. Like Jesus Christ. Una no go kill somebody for this Shebi thing. But here is a man with his senses intact, telling you his wish is that you don't spend. You see how has smartly, he's not fighting, he hasn't said anything against the outgoing government. But by the actions and body language, you can see a total detachment from the outgoing government. You can see a total detachment from him. Because the other one, we have on Oja with music. He will do like this. Sometimes I say this guy thinks he's a traditional ruler. Because if me, I'm a traditional ruler, if I will become a no, that's how I go to waka. What they do like that, you go do like this. Before you knock somebody some jazz, you know what I mean? I'm just kidding.
Should not be spent on that swearing. Now the swearing, what are we gonna spend? What are we spending for?
Exactly. So help me God.
So help me God.
You see, he says he doesn't need any, again, for translation here and context, he doesn't need any fanfare. All he needs is 4 or 5 people with illegal, whatever. He will just raise his hand, so help me God, and open his office and go. Go in and start working immediately. See that. Now, I must remind you here, Professor Soludo, agenda setting for me, as your promise, you're going to Onitsha. If you no go Okpoko that day, my problem with you, I will take it personal, it has started. The moment you're sworn in the election, you promised us that the moment you are sworn, you're in where? Okpoko. To do what? To start work. You talk, not me talk.
There is no party, no event, no atelo, no nothing.
Did you hear that? There is not going to be any musical performance. There is not going to be any event. There is nothing. Again, I am not saying that we are jubilating yet, but it is good that we put this in context, because if this flies the way he's saying it, Abia, Imo, Ebonyi, you must begin, and then we must begin to make such demand. The two, let it be the new norm.
So I'm just going showing off work. And on first day at work, like I said at the beginning, on Friday. But that day I'm going to work more than 8 hours of work. And we've lined up in Agalo that day. No ceremony, no event, no party, nothing. So zero. It's actually not one kobo will be spent on that. So I need to 20 million. I'm going to make it with them. Get 20 million.
Now he concludes here by saying that whoever was talking about 20 million is actually mistaken, because he never said 20 million. That what he's actually saying is that if need be, he will spend 0 naira. Now, let me hear you. What do you think? Do you think that Abia State needs an airport? Let's have a conversation. It's a Friday. That's why it's a Friday hangout, not a monologue. I've done with my presentation. Question then to you is, do you think that Abia State needs an airport? Or do you think that Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo will keep to his promise? Have your say. While you do that, I would, like I said, I had already gone to a book. And when I look at this guy, no, guys, let me show us this. Let me show us this. It's just that na money they make man. When I look at Innoson cars, I'm like, somebody saying I'm going to use Innoson car. It's actually not something, it's actually saying I'm going to live in luxury, in luxury, because what it is. When I got the car is beautiful. Check the car out. Look at the car. This is the G. I mean, this is the one I like because everybody to his own. This is the one I like. Check. I think this is the same one I told you. The senator was using. Look at this car. So who wouldn't like it? So I don't know why these men governing us are running away from this car. I'm like, check that baby out. Yeah, check it out. But hey, so well again, okay. While you might still call, but let me take some of your questions. Jacob says the big show is those whom surround him to run the administration. Well, listen, I believe if you're smart enough, you know people that share your idea and your vision that you can obviously appoint to work with you. Just like President Muhammad Buhari that came in for 6 months, he did not do any, he didn't appoint anything. He basically allowed the whole thing to, the whole nation to go to waste. But I believe the moment, again, that's another agenda. Soludo must appoint his cabinet as early as possible. As early as possible. So, Chaik Nekem says, for what? Let the governor fix the town first. Good road network, human empowerment, and lots more. Well, yes, I agree. Of course, bros, we should have our own airports. It's very shameful and things Soludo will do. But I think, honestly, probably by the next dispensation, we might be able to shift the conversation and begin to do state-by-state analysis of how these, we can draw up a template, have this reviewed every year, state-by-state, metrics, indexes of why and, we think this state is performing better than the other state. There must be that level of competitiveness. The whole thing mustn't be, anchored on, oh yes, this person is stealing this, the other person. I mean, it's at some point it begins to sound as if it's a question of, oh, this person steals more than the other one, and the other person can outspend, engage in more nonsense than the other, So when we begin to understand that even we as spectators, that we have also a role to play, and our role is nothing else but to keep and constantly holding them to account. And in doing that, we must, your brother, your father, your sister, everyone, we must begin to also walk away from going into government houses for unnecessary distractions, things that doesn't make sense. Okay, so let me play us this, but I'm not going to, because this video has been posted on Njenje Media,
I'm running to a book.
Now, I am not going to finish the whole thing, but I just want to give us an intro as part of what personally I consider an agenda setting. This is myself, and this is also his own statement during the campaign. Take a listen.
If I'm sworn in today, I'm running to Oboko the same day.
Now, this is the day of campaign, his closing remark. I didn't ask him to make that statement, but because he made that statement, then I must hold him.
If I'm sworn in today, I'm running to Oboko the same day to begin the revolution. If I'm sworn in today, I'm running to Oboko the same day to begin the revolution. Give me the opportunity. If you hire me, I want to mobilize the creative energies of the whole of Anambra people, home and abroad in diaspora.
As you know, good evening. So obviously, I had gone to Oboko, to actually look at Oboko and see how Oboko is. You can see the full video.
Good morning,
in
wherever you are.
Njenje media there.
Today is the second week of January 2020. Now, I am headed to Oboko in Anambra State, where Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo said he will commence his governance.
Anyway, that's intro.
Udad.
Obviously, you look at the
Okay.
streets.
This
is
Soludo
Oboko.
win. Us no ye dozilu no Oboko. Ọ dị gị ka ihe ọ ya emenwu? Ikwenye na ọ ya eme ya. Mana unu atụnyekwala mgbe ọ win. Soludo to reconstruct perspective, but we are expecting how Oboko. Oh Jesus!
So this is Oboko. This is me driving. I was lucky that my tire was not punctured because the area is unbelievable. And I must note, I must say the following.
Or maybe.
The only road you will see tarred in Oboko was only done by Peter Obi. The only road you will see, this is the gutter here is called the Sakamori gutter. You see deaths, pigs, it's unbelievable sight. So when you begin to drive into Ede Road, this is Ede Road, and you basically begin to see the road that was done by Peter Obi during his time as governor of Anambra State is the only tarred road in Oboko. What one would have expected in the last 7 years is to see more work done in Oboko. But sadly, there was nothing. Nothing.
How Oboko? I missed something. Let me go.
So eventually, let me go. See, walking here. I wanted to do a live stream. Do you believe it that there was no network? Even when there was a map in my front, there was no network. I used Airtel. There was no Airtel network to do live stream. Look at it. Look at it. This is Oboko. You see?
So what I am doing is to show us Oboko. See? So this is where we jump.
If you don't take care, jumping in Oboko, you might get, you might fall inside a gutter. So this is the popular Mugambo market. I took my time. I spent close to 4 hours driving and walking around Oboko, speaking to the people, getting them to speak to us. I just tried my skill of speaking Abakaliki dialect here, and they say old soldier know they die. As an old soldier, I was still able to remember some of them. So at the end of the day, visit Oboko, just go back to Njenje Media TV.
At the other side, when you cross the Onitsha Road, is
you will see me
called
from that
Awada,
Oboko. I
where
headed
you have
to
upstairs,
the other section of
Oko,
the second Niger
you see
bridge where you have the
mostly
interchange.
downstairs. Now,
Again.
leaving Oboko. On
Now
my
this
right,
is the things I do in order to do my own part, because I genuinely, what do I want? I want that many of us that were born in Anambra State, grew up in Anambra State, primary, nursery, primary, secondary, in Anambra State, that that's the great Igbo nation as a collective, that we should have a a secured place to call home. If you're in Lagos, you're in Abuja, you are in anywhere you are within the Nigerian or the continent of the motherland, the African continent, or anywhere you are in the diaspora, in Europe, in America, in Asia, that whenever you come back home, that you have a place you call home, that no one can harass you, that you have the basic amenities to life. That's all. That's all. Not interested in government money. Use the government money to work for the government. But please, those commingling, those cutting our monies away, it's got to stop. The generations yet unborn will look at us one time and say, Daddies, what have you done? Were you people asleep when these things are happening? The reason why I shout on top of my voice like a chicken that the kite took the chick, it's not that the kite will release my chick, but at least for the world to hear my voice, so that maybe when I'm no more, if YouTube, if social media ever exists when we are no more, someone could go back and say, pardon him, he was shouting as loud as he could. I do believe that we do have and we must have a great Igbo nation. And we must have a great country called ours. Be it that eventually we all decide to have a regional government, a confederation, or a restructured system of sort. Because I do not believe that the current structure works. Because if it works, it's not working for me. And I doubt if this current structure is working for you. Please join me again Sunday, 18 o'clock, 6 o'clock, Sunday, the 30th of January, 6 o'clock in the evening for my one-on-one conversation with the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi. It will be a 2 hours conversation. Hold no bear. No question is off the table. I promise you, no question is off the table. He might also say some things that you never knew ever happened. I am still Mazi Ezoke, and I say thank you everyone for being part of this conversation this evening. It has been a very happy and enjoyable Friday hangout and Friday conversation with myself. Please, 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 if you haven't subscribed to this platform, I beg you, please do. If you have, kindly like and share the video. For those of you in Germany, I will say Gute Nacht, au revoir, Kachifo, bye-bye. I am Mazi